the final, right? Does that sound like we can do that? Had everything ready to go. The problem was the zoning had changed. It was 1 unit per 5,500. I'm sorry, 1 unit per 4,500 square feet. The lot is 11,000. So how many units can I get on it? 2. Yeah. So I told him I can't get this thing permitted. I can only shut up and be quiet about it. And if anyone ever finds out, I'm going to have to eliminate the second unit, which is this and this. And I said, I can't buy it for that. So we lowered it from 350 to 310, and I still bought it. And there's never been a problem. Technically, it's a 2 unit. I would sell it as a 2 unit. But you know what? It looks and smells and tastes, everything exactly like a 3 unit. It has 3 addresses. So that's why when you put together a deal, you're constantly looking at what's possible out of this deal and make it a win-win. When he understood that it was 2 units and not 3, he lowered the price. He understood that he screwed it up. This was 20 years prior. If you try to get a final after 20 years, that's not going to happen either, right? But he knew. And then when it came time to the financing part, he knew it was a lot lower. I told him, what do you want me to do? I'm trying to be really nice. I have to do something because everything is going on. He didn't want the capital gain, so he lowered it. So it was a win-win. And the fact that he says if he had more property, he'd sell it to me, that should tell you that he's very happy with what we did.
He did sell you running deer.
He did, actually. I don't have running deer on my list here.
It's in Apple Valley.
It's a property we bought
made a ton of money out of it too.
Jerry, what did we buy running deer for?
Running deer?
Sell or carry?
Running deer.
It's running out of his mind.
130, 140?
What did we sell it for? 240?
No, like 340.
340. Really?
Yeah,
We're
340.
doing all the money. All the money. I'm never bringing Jerry in on these deals.
You told me to go shopping.
But that was a seller carry. And I want to say we put, by then, he knew us. So I want to say we might have put 10 or 20,000 down on that property. So we turned 10 or 20,000 into 200,000 in a year and a half. 2 years? I don't know, something like that. That was by the way, the reason why we bought that property from him, his granddaughter was living in it. His daughter was living in it. And he just took custody of his granddaughter, which was 3 or 4 years old, because his daughter is in jail for rock house, or what do they call it, crack. So he had to take when we went to take over the house, what was there? All kinds of crack stuff in there. Am I using the right words? Rock stuff or whatever. Meth.
Drug paraphernalia.
Drug paraphernalia. So that's the kind of stuff we have to go through. But he was happy to get it out of his, we gave him maybe 20 grand. He walked and he was happy. We took over that. We had to keep the people out.
No, we paid under 100,000 for that. 90-something thousand, I think.
Good. Put that disclaimer in there. All these numbers are approximate. All right. So, I'll tell you about another deal in Pasadena. How many of you guys will do this deal? It's 5 units. Purchase price, $270,000. I got a bone to pick with you on this deal, Jerry. The existing loan is $220,000. That's 7%. Guy wanted to get rid of it. What would you guys do?
What's the income?
Income was $2,500 at the time. You know why I have a bone to pick with you, Jerry? I didn't know this at the time, but Jerry had been working with this guy as a realtor. Me and Jerry didn't. I guess we probably knew each other, but we weren't partners. He was a realtor, and Jerry suggested he paint his unit. Jerry was working with him over 6 months or something. He suggested he paint his unit. The unit is still the same color. It's one of the ugliest colors I've ever seen. Do you remember that, Jerry?
What, are you talking about Summit?
Yeah.
Yeah, vaguely.
It's like a turquoise with a purple trim.
Maybe just like the Palm Springs house.
He's gotten a lot better taste, by the way. Okay, this one required $50,000, and we took it subject to. I took it subject to. I looked for a partner, could not find a partner. $50,000 is a lot of money, that I mean, it wasn't that long ago, it was 6 years ago, Jerry?
Something like that,
Yeah.
yeah.
But still, 50,000 when I'm going to make maybe a $5,000 commission out of this, I could throw my commission back in. I didn't have $45,000 to do this. So I was looking for a partner, and didn't get a partner. So, guess what I did? The guy wanted to get rid of it.
Did you offer him that other $50,000 as a second and as a first and a second?
Actually, that's what I did. He carried a second for $50,000. So it was kind of a no money down deal. I know there was some money out of my pocket. I want to say less than 5,000, maybe less than 10,000. Maybe my commission money. But there was, this is what he carried at 10%. And this was existing. It was a WAMU loan for $220 that I took over. Now, let's talk about some of this. The rent is there. So tell me if you guys,
Was this on the MLS or was this for sale by owner?
I hear the for sale by owner.
Okay. So
I
there's
think
no
I-
agents involved?
No.
Okay.
That's how I knew about Jerry, because he said, I'm working with this agent in Pasadena on this thing. And I didn't, we might have known each other, but he never told me who it was till way later.
Because you
And I
mentioned,
thought, I know that guy.
because you mentioned the commission.
Yeah, I eased it in there.
Oh, I
You know, you
see.
say, well, since there's gonna be no commission, you would throw it this way, and, it's one of those things.
I see.
So, the total payment on the thing was $24.42. Where's my payment? I'm all over the place here. Payment. $24.42. Would you guys do this deal?
Yes. It's 100.
And really, when you put together a deal like this, it's really not $24.42. Something comes up, a vacancy. It might not be every month. To look at this and say, well, you had $50 cash flow every month. That's great. And yeah, $50 for 3 months until,
Something breaks.
yeah, so a water heater goes and that blows out 1 year of cash flow, really, right?
Well, that's not taxes, insurance, and all that either.
I think this is.
PRTI?
I think it is roughly PITI. These are what my notes look like, so they're kind of, I think it was, I calculated it roughly this. So there was very little margin here, but today, which I still have this property, the rents are $4,200. What is this worth, Laura? That sound right?
Well, Mel, what was it worth before when they purchased it?
Probably that, or
You bought it
close.
at market?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I bought it for the terms, not because I was stealing it. The terms is what it is.
And then you were on the right side of the appreciation. Now that we're going the other way, now what kind of things are you looking for? What strategies do we have to pick up properties just to take over people's payments and things like that?
This is a pretty good story, right? It happened in 6 years, right? Maybe the market has changed. If you do your terms right, maybe this happens in 11 years. But who would be willing to wait for this scenario to happen in 11 years with roughly zero down?
All day long.
Right. I don't know what I don't know, the same scenario, you can buy it today for $800,000. You could put $600,000-700,000 in debt on it. You could try to find a partner with $50,000, or 3 or 4 of you in here gang up and say, let's put down $10,000 or $20,000 each, like you guys did with the investment you got paid on today, and buy something like this. And I don't know what it's going to be, but what do we do know about real estate long term? Right. It's hard to predict what's going to happen tomorrow. That's why in the PowerHouse side of our business, we got to buy it undervalued. We got to buy it, fix it up, flip it, right? But this is what we're talking about a little long term. You guys want to know a little bit about some of the things that we do long term?